I'd like to bring to order the Rock Valley College Board of Trustees, Community College District number 511, regular board meeting for February 24th, 2026. May we have a roll call, please?
Trojan.
Here.
Simpson. Nelson. Salto. Kudia.
Here.
Blake.
Here.
Goldsmith here. Gorski.
Here, seeing that we have a quorum.
May I call Crystal now?
What? You can call Crystal. Yeah, what? Yes, we do. We have a voting quorum.
Oh, yeah. You got four.
And so we were going to attempt to bring in a board member by attendance, other means of physical presence, which requires an action by the board.
You're going to make the motion?
Well, let's get her online first.
Okay.
I don't want to say she's here if she's not.
That makes sense.
Hi, if you record your name
Hello.
There she is.
Trustee Soto, we have you on speakerphone now, and the meeting has already started.
So, Crystal Soltow, do you wish to join this meeting by other means and being here? Okay. Do I hear a motion to allow Crystal to join the meeting by phone?
Second.
Motion by Trojan, second by Kadia. Roll call.
Trojan.
Yeah.
Kudia.
Yes.
Blake.
Yes.
Goldsmith, yes. Gorski.
Yes. Thank you. So we now have Trustee Soltow as part of the mix right now. So we're going to move on to communications and petitions, public comment. Do we have any communications and petitions and/or public comment?
No communication or petitions or public comments at this time.
Okay, hearing none, no last minute chances. All right. So we're going to go to recognition of visitors.
Yes. Hand it over to Dr. Amanda Smith.
All right.
Chief Academic Officer.
Good
Your
evening. The Illinois Public Community College Act defines eligibility for tenure as any faculty member who has been employed in any district for a period of 3 consecutive school years shall enter upon tenure unless dismissed. However, I would suggest that the term tenure at Rock Valley College has a much deeper meaning. Each of the scholars recommended tonight for tenure have demonstrated their unique dedication to the pursuit of quality, accessible education, providing their students with the tools necessary for success. Each has also contributed beyond the classroom to the college mission and to their communities and are exemplary role models for both. The tenure process is a 3-year process. Each member has their own peer review committee, comprised of 3 faculty members. They may also have a faculty mentor. They are part of the Academy for the Tenure Track Faculty, a 3-year academy which supports the onboarding of new faculty. And all faculty who are in the process demonstrate a commitment to their discipline or program, the college, and the community. So I'd like to just provide some direction. In a moment, we are going to recognize our newly tenured faculty. I will call your name and come on down. And then after all of your names are called, we will invite you to the middle here to get a picture with our trustees. So one of our newly tenured faculty members is not able to be here. He is teaching, so we allow him to do that. So, but right now it's my privilege to introduce to you the 4 faculty members entering upon tenure effective with the 26-27 academic year. So in alphabetical order, I'd like to welcome Matthew Cole with Automotive Service Technology. Next, I would like to present to you Samantha Flyger with Respiratory Care. Next, we have Jonathan Colrignari with Mathematics. finally, I would like to recognize Anthony Shiassi with aviation maintenance. While he was not able to be here, he still should be recognized for his efforts.
You don't have to move that.
Doing pictures?
Yes. Trustees should come around in the front.
Isn't he always? First person ever since 2017 to say. All right. And a virtual high five for our missing teaching adjunct. Okay, or not, sorry, tenured. Sorry about that. All right. Do we have any other recognition of visitors?
No other recognitions of visitors.
Well, I apologize for an early adjourning to closing the session. We hope not to keep you out in the hallway too long, but I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn to closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, and/or dismissal of specific employees, individuals, or trustees who come in late, independent contractors in a park, recreational, educational setting, and Section 2C1 and/or 2 collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or the representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees per Section 2C2, all in accordance with the Illinois Open Meetings Act.
So moved.
Motion by Trojan, seconded by Nelson. Roll call.
Trojan,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Kudia,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Goldsmith, yes. Gorski,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay. So the trustees, President Spearman, attorney, and Kerwin. Is the technology ready then? All right. Okay, I'd like to reconvene into open session. And do we have, I'm having a moment here. Do we have to vote on that? Then we didn't discuss any, well, we did discuss some stuff, obviously. We were there for a while. We didn't take any final action on anything. So we'd like to move on to what I don't believe we have any general presentations.
No general presentation.
All right. Approval of minutes. I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the January 13th, 2026 Committee of the Whole, January 27th, 2026 regular board meeting, and the January 31st, 2026 special meeting retreat.
So moved.
Moved by Trojan, seconded by
Me,
Udea.
Gloria?
Gloria. Seconded by Gloria. Roll call.
Trojan.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Salto.
Yes.
Kudia.
Yes.
Blake.
Yes.
Goldsmith, yes. Gorski.
Yes.
All approve.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to approve claim sheet check register January 2026 BR 8355.
So moved.
Motion by Trojan, seconded by
Second.
Isaiah Blake.
Okay.
Okay, roll call. Oh, any discussion? Any changes? No. Hearing no questions and no changes, roll call.
Trojan.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Salto.
Yes.
Kudia.
Yes.
Blake.
Yes.
Goldsmith, yes. Gorski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Motion to approve purchase report A, FY 2026 amendment, BR 8356-A.
So moved.
Moved by Kadia, seconded by Nelson. Any discussion?
I see there's changes, but it does not appear to, I don't understand them, but it seems the expenditure is still the same. Am I right?
Changes on the purchase report A?
Purchase Report A had one item added to it, and it was for Air Gas USA, an increase of $14,000 to a total of $44,000. And this is for additional gas consumables for the welding program, because the usage is up.
Does anybody have any questions on that change? Anybody have any questions on the amendment as a whole? Hearing none, roll call.
Trojan.
Yep.
Nelson.
Yes.
Salto.
Yes.
Kudia.
Yes.
Blake.
Yes.
Goldsmith, yes. Gorski.
Yes. I'd entertain a motion for purchase report B, FY 2026 purchases, BR 8356-B.
So moved.
Second.
Trojan Kadia? Was that? Okay. Motion by Trojan, second by Gloria Kadia. Any changes?
Yes, there is an addition. As if you've paid attention, the old Rockford newspaper building has been sold. Iconic Energy sold it, and it is now an LLC for Rockford News Tower. So we have a item on here for $100,510.90 to finish out the rest of this fiscal year. So we are closing the BPO for Iconic Energy, or Iconic LLC, and opening this one up. And this is to pay the rent for 99 East State Street.
Any questions on this? Hearing none, roll call.
Trojan.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Salto.
Yes.
Kudia.
Yes.
Blake.
Yes.
Goldsmith, yes. Gorski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I'd entertain a motion for purchase report CY FY 2026 purchases, BR 8356-C. And before I entertain a motion, what was,
I think she closed. Trustee Soto, are you
Yes.
up on?
Yep, I'm here.
okay, I
So
just heard I hear, okay, a motion by
Kudia.
Kadia,
Okay.
seconded by John Nelson. All right, discussion. Any changes?
The only thing was a clarification on the last sentence to verify that the amount is for $51,346 and includes a 10% contingency.
Any comments, questions? I don't have any. I was the one who raised them originally, so roll call.
Trojan?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Salto?
yes,
Kudia?
Yes.
Blake?
Yes.
Goldsmith, yes. Gorski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
So, resolution calling a public hearing concerning the intent of the Board of Trustees to sell not to exceed $7.9 million working cash fund bonds for the purpose of increasing the working cash fund of the district BR 8357. And motion,
So moved.
Nelson,
Seconded.
Isaiah Blake. Discussion. Remind us what this working cash fund bonds for is before you get your question, right?
That was my question.
Yeah.
The purpose of these working cash bonds is to pay for the additional cost for the remodel or renovation of CL2 as we have expanded the project.
Which the board approved in a previous meeting.
Correct.
Correct. Any other discussion on this? Hearing none, roll call.
Trojan?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Salto?
yes,
Kudia?
Yes.
Blake?
Yes.
Goldsmith, yes. Gorski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Do I entertain a motion to approve fund transfer request BR 8358?
So moved.
Second.
Nelson first, Padilla second. Any discussion? And remind us for what this fund transfer request is for again.
This fund transfer is to redirect the $1 million that we initially transferred to the OPEB fund, or Fund 19, to capital to help fund the additional classroom 2 expenses.
Which again, we as a board have previously been presented and approved in an open meeting. Hearing no other questions, roll call.
Trojan?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Salto?
yes,
Kudia?
Yes.
Blake?
Yes.
Goldsmith, yes. Gorski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And Bob, you don't have to lunge at the mic. We'll hear you and it won't speed it up that much.
I like the
Okay.
lunge.
The lunge. Okay, other business, new business.
No new business.
Had something and I can't remember and I didn't write it down. Was it somebody who was talking to you, Bob? No, the AI we were going to bring up under goals and stuff. Okay, John.
No, I'm waiting for your
No,
memory to jog itself here.
I thought somebody wanted to bring something up. All right, okay, unfinished business.
I think I was going to talk about the AI.
Yeah.
I already did.
Right, you already did. Unfinished business.
No unfinished business.
All right. So let's move on to the president's update, as if we haven't heard enough from you this evening.
I have more.
What was that?
I have more. I was saying, he was asking me to adjust my mic, but it picked it up. So thank you for the opportunity to present this evening, trustees. As you know, February has been a jam-packed month. I began the month by celebrating the 2026 Scouting America Legacy Service Luncheon, and then beginning of the Black History Month with the Ebony Breakfast. I had the opportunity to attend the ACCT National Legislative Summit in Washington, D.C. with our college communications team members, 3 trustees, and our student trustee. It was a very informative event, and I enjoyed interacting with our national delegation legislators. On a personal note, I was able to enjoy some time away from campus as my wife and I celebrated 22 years of marriage.
congratulations.
Thank you.
17 wonderful years out of 22 isn't bad.
I don't believe he said that, Trustee Nelson, but if you want to report it onto your trustee report, be fine.
Keep that to you.
No, okay. Any other updates? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Immediately following our vacation, I was in Springfield during Governor Pritzker's State of the State address, networking with key state legislators. I enjoyed learning more about them and sharing more about RVC with them. I also want to thank Dr. Letisa Wallace and Light Strategies for assisting me in meeting various legislators outside of our district. I was truly impressed with how many people she knew in Springfield. Regarding tomorrow, tomorrow is our town hall meeting, which will be held on campus in the atrium beginning, I believe, at 3 p.m. This will be an opportunity for us to share the strategic plan, field questions, and engage in conversation with the RVC family. Last but not least, I want to congratulate our Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Amanda Smith, on completing the Aspen Rising President's Fellowship, which focuses on developing the next generation of community college presidents. Well done. And that concludes my report.
All right. We have a leadership team. Oh, any questions for President Spearman and his report? All right. Leadership team update then.
Greetings, trustees. I have 3 updates. Women's History Month is a celebration of women's contribution to history, culture, and society, and has been observed annually in the month of March in the United States since 1987. Women's History Month 2026 takes place from Sunday, March 1st through Tuesday, March 31st, and this is according to the History website. The National Women's History Alliance adopted Leading the Change, Women Shaping a Sustainable Future as the 2026 theme for Women's History Month. Rock Valley College will commemorate Women's History Month with a few campus events, beginning with our attendance at the YWCA Leadership Luncheon 46, Women of Achievement ceremony on Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Special thanks to Amanda Zika, Manager, First Year Experience, for serving as the chair for the Women's History Month Committee. From February 16th to March 6th, RVC students are invited to complete the Viewfinder Student Campus Climate Survey. Students' participation in the survey will help RVC better understand student experiences and improve how the college serves all students. As a thank you, students can choose to enter a drawing to win one of 4 3-credit-hour tuition waivers after completing the survey. Kudos to Lynn Vu, Cultural Excellence and Belonging Specialist, and the CEB staff for their efforts to administer the survey. And lastly, according to the State of the Community College Leadership 2023 report from the American Association of Community Colleges, AACC, 16% of community college presidents identify as Black African American. The Illinois Community College Board commemorated Black History Month with a post on its Facebook page honoring the 3 Black African American board members and the 9 Black African American presidents, including our very own Rock Valley College President, Howard Spearman. The description read, "This month, we proudly celebrate and recognize the Black leaders who are making a lasting impact across the Illinois community college system." Rock Valley College will conclude its celebration of Black History Month with a presentation on 100 years of Black culture and innovation on Thursday, February 26, 2026, in the Student Center atrium from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Thank you, and that concludes my updates.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, trustees. I would like to start this evening with a very big thank you to the entire RVC TRIO team, led by Dr. Elaine Dussard, Executive Director for TRIO Federal Programs, for their tremendous success this past weekend in hosting National TRIO Day for Illinois schools and service programs. This year was especially significant as we celebrate 40 years of National TRIO Day observances nationwide, while recognizing that the federal TRIO programs themselves have been serving students since 1965. For 6 decades, TRIO has provided critical academic and support services to first-generation, low-income, and underrepresented students across the country. This also marked Rock Valley College's 2nd time being invited to host National TRIO Day, following successful hosting in 2023. Being asked to host again reflects the confidence in our statewide colleagues that our leadership and coordination and execution is well done. We had over 350 staff and students, primarily students, from various institutions across the state, from Roosevelt University, Danville Area Community College, Moraine Valley Community College, Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, Highland Community College, Illinois Central, Kishwaukee College, Joliet Junior College, Beloit College, and the United Way. Students participated in 20 breakout sessions covering topics on academic strategy, disability awareness and advocacy, financial literacy, leadership development, personal empowerment, social and emotional intelligence, College 101, music and mental health, and resources for veterans. In alignment with the mission of National Trio Day, students also wrote letters to members of Congress thanking them for their continued support of Trio programs. This activity reinforces civic engagement and helps students understand the importance of policy advocacy in sustaining educational opportunity. I would like to highlight Dr. Dessard's team: Catherine Berger, Ashley Horney, Victoria Alcantar, Christian Hager, Jack Howard, Rayaja Horton, Samantha Ingram, Penny Williams, Haley Rasmussen, Ryan Wilmers, Naz Azatar, Sarah Olgerman, Melissa Lawson, and Regan Kingbafong, along with countless other volunteers and supporters for the day. Finally tonight, change the topic, I'd like to also offer our congratulations and good luck to our men's and women's basketball teams for the successful end to their regular season and their seeding in the upcoming regional tournament. The women earned a number 3 seed and will play tomorrow, February 25th at 5:30 p.m. at Rock Valley. The men earned a number 2 seed and will play on Thursday, February 26th at 7 o'clock p.m. at RVC. And good luck to both teams as they host the regional tournament this weekend and next weekend here at Rock Valley. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you.
Any questions for Dr.
Very
Pryor?
good.
John?
Dr. Pryor, it's great to have maybe a home court advantage, but how do our two teams look?
Tall and good.
What do you anticipate? Will they be able to advance, do you think?
They are the number 2 and 3 seed in the region, and I believe that bodes well for their success. The men's basketball team just got, they were ranked number 22 in the nation in the NJCAA Division II ranks, and the women have been receiving votes most of the year, but they've been befallen a little bit with injuries in the last couple of weeks. So, but we are very hopeful for their success.
All right, thank you.
Great.
Other questions? Thank you for the report.
Good evening, trustees.
Good evening.
At the February 10th Committee of the Whole meeting, there were questions regarding the status of the new Coordinator of Fund Development and Engagement position. This position has been posted and is available for candidates to apply to. I would like to clarify that per Board Policy 31090 personnel reports, only administration leadership, and faculty teaching specialist positions are listed on the personnel reports that are submitted monthly to the board. This position does not fall within those categories, therefore will not be listed on the personnel report. However, we will follow up and let you know when the position has been filled.
When was it posted?
It was posted last week.
There you go.
Hopefully the process will be very short.
They're trying to find the
We're going
most
to make sure that we
qualified
get the
people,
most,
Bob.
yes.
I understand there's several of them that already were interested in it.
We're going to make sure that we work with the foundation to review and ensure that we are getting quality candidates that they can interview so we have the best person for the position.
We probably had some in the audience, but I drove them out with that long closed session. I'm really sorry about it. You could have met some of them.
No,
so.
but I know Brittany said she had some already interested.
Anything else on your report?
No, thank you. This concludes my report. Thank you.
And that was a great way to conclude it, too.
Because we want to get John's goal here of doubling the assets up there quickly.
Oh, we'll take that up later. All
He
right.
ain't going to do it without that person on the board.
That's right.
Heather
Time's a ticket.
Snyder.
Good luck. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. Because of where we are in the enrollment cycle, there has not been much change since my last update. As of this week, spring enrollment is 2% ahead of last year, 10% ahead of budget, and 5% ahead of the stretch goal. I would like to address the longstanding debate I've had with Trustee Trojan regarding spring and fall enrollment. It is true that spring head count for this fiscal year is higher than fall head count. It is also true that spring credit hours are lower than fall credit hours. This is because dual credit courses taught at the high schools are recorded in the spring, but these students take the same course throughout the entire academic year at their high school. These students are generally taking 1 3-credit course, which is why we don't see also the increase above fall in credit hours that we see in headcount.
So spring is higher than the fall.
For credit, or for headcount.
Yeah.
We're both right.
Right.
When summer 2, fall, winter, and spring are combined, fiscal year 26 year-to-date credit hour enrollment is 4% ahead of last year, 8% ahead of budget, and 3% ahead of the stretch goal. And that concludes my report.
And I'll just have a general consensus from the board that nobody owes anyone any pizzas. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Nelson.
So do you have any opinion as to why we've had this increase then? Is it setting a low bar, or is it an actual increase, or is the economy isn't what it has been, never is in the second year of a president's term, but do you have any idea?
So you're comparing this year to last year and why is that the question, opinion on the increase?
Basically.
Yeah. I'm not sure I have an opinion, but I've seen it across the state. Many of the community colleges are seeing increases in enrollment.
Okay.
And
Patrick, do you have anything to add?
I believe we've had steady enrollment increase since the COVID time. It hasn't reached what we had
Correct.
just before, but we are trending up.
That is
Yeah.
correct, yes.
Okay, which not everyone is. So thank you very much.
Good, thank you.
So good evening, trustees. We will be hosting a workforce collaborative on Thursday, the 19th of March, 2026, from 7:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. in the student atrium on the main campus. We will be inviting our local manufacturers and industry partners to a discourse and sharing of ideas on the following. 1, how artificial intelligence has caused businesses and manufacturers to reach an inflection point, examining the future impact of RVC and industry partnerships on artificial intelligence. 2, how can Rock Valley College help our local manufacturers and industry partners to meet their training and development needs? And 3, the impact of career technical education, CTE, what it has had on workforce needs, and looking at the future impact of RVC and industry partnerships on advanced manufacturing. The hope of this forum is to continue to build upon the collaborative relationship we have with manufacturers and local businesses to meet workforce needs and to continue working in unison with them. All RVC trustees are invited, so please let Ann and Dr. Spearman know if you will be in attendance. Again, breakfast will be served and starts at 7:30 a.m. And the date again is Thursday, the 19th of March, 2026, in the student atrium on the main campus.
I'm sorry, what day of the, what day?
Thursday, the 19th of March.
19th?
Yes.
Okay.
7:30 a.m. breakfast starts in the student atrium.
Crystal, any questions?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Anyone
quick
else?
Hi, just
Yeah, go ahead.
a quick
Go
one.
ahead.
What day of the week is the 19th?
This Thursday.
Thursday.
A Thursday?
Thursday,
Okay,
19th of March.
thank you.
It's March 20th is a big, well, actually, the 19th through the 21st is a big. Are you here in town then? Are you gone the whole?
I'll be in.
We'll talk about that on there. Go ahead. Sorry to digress.
Hanson,
He can do
we still have a fair number of larger businesses in the area, and I think we're growing our manufacturing. Do you have representative, are we connected at all with Collins Aerospace?
Yes, we are.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yes, we are.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Thank you very much for your report.
Good evening, Board. I have 2 updates tonight. First, as we move forward with the opening of the new downtown campus, RVC Police have been working on hiring 2 new positions for the downtown campus. We have 1 position filled and are currently working on hiring the 2nd position. 1 position is a police officer position, the 2nd is a sergeant position. The goal is to have all of these positions in place before the building opens for the fall semester. Secondly, I'd like to give an update on the downtown construction project. As I noted to the board at the Committee of the Whole meeting, one of the major obstacles to getting the project back on track was the completion of several Architect Special Instructions, or ASIs. These documents give direction to the construction crews on how to construct the building and answer questions related to the construction. We originally had 9 outstanding ASI documents that were holding up the project's progress. To date, we have cleared 8 out of those 9 outstanding ASI documents. We are waiting on information from the contractor to close out the last ASI. The removal of these obstacles has allowed the contractor to concentrate on the construction of the building and not having to wait for the information. In speaking with Ringland Johnson Construction, our CMR, they have indicated that they are no longer concerned that the project is delayed, and they feel that the project is back on schedule and within budget. They do not feel any overtime will be needed to complete the project, but do reserve the right to adjust this in the future if needed. This concludes my report. Any questions?
Questions? Trustee Nelson.
I know it's somewhat speculation, Rick, but do you have any feel for what would be a tentative opening date now, or does that have to wait?
Their date for substantial completion is July 1. So that's when they're going to be done and out of the building. And then for July and August, we go in and put all of our stuff in the building. So we'll be ready to open on, what is it, August
17th.
August 17th, yeah. So
Okay.
it leaves us a month and a half to populate the building with everything else.
Okay.
I'll come to you in a second, Bob. Crystal, any questions?
No, I'm okay.
Trustee Trojan.
Kudos to you because you closed the gap with your personal involvement in this project, identifying what the problems were and getting them solved. Kudos.
Thank you.
That's right.
Any other questions for Rick on this one, on his report? Thank you. Thanks very much for the report and for the update on downtown. So,
Good evening, trustees.
Good evening.
The college has recently implemented a software solution for syllabus management. While we had a soft rollout in summer and fall, we fully implemented the system for the current spring semester. This required countless hours of work from Jen Mickelson, our curriculum coordinator, and was assisted by student workers Annie Wilson and our very own student trustee, Isaiah Blake. So it also required additional preparation from our faculty and adjuncts. I would like to thank everybody involved for their efforts as we continually seek to ensure that we offer exceptional education. I'd also like to let you know about a couple upcoming STEM-related events. On Friday this week, we will be hosting the Regional Academic Challenge in Engineering and Science, so ACES. We anticipate up to 200 students from 7 high schools will be attending and showing their amazing skills. Then on Saturday, we will be hosting the Illinois Council of the Teachers of Mathematics High School Mathematics Contest. We expect over 400 students from as many as 27 area high schools to compete. So we welcome you if you are able to come and join the excitement. There will be, the awards will be handed out at 2 o'clock in this very room. That concludes my report.
These high schools are all from our northern Illinois region?
Yes.
Potential students for us then?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Crystal, any questions?
No, I'm all good.
Okay. Gloria.
You said that's this Friday?
This Friday and this Saturday,
Okay.
back to
2
back.
o'clock Friday.
That is Saturday,
Okay,
the 2 o'clock.
got it.
For
Thank you.
that's for the math one,
Thank you.
Any other
here
questions?
in this room.
No? No questions? Does that end the reports?
That does.
Well, I'm going to change the agenda a little bit, and we'll move on to the student trustee report.
Thank you. With respect to time and everyone's time, I will just be giving a verbal report. Last 2 weeks ago, I went to the ACCT conference in Washington, D.C. with some members of the board, including with Dr. Spearman. I learned a lot during this conference, and I'd like to thank the board and Rock Valley College for allowing me to come on this trip. It was a very valuable experience, and especially being able to talk to our representatives about Pell Grant, Workforce Pell, and child care tax. Sorry, my bad. Child care. One of the things that was talked about. But the big thing that we really got out of this was a huge emphasis on the work Pell grants. And making sure that people going into engineering or welding or anything like that to obtain a short-term certificate could be able to get the funds needed. And I felt that that was very important, especially as we were learning more about Pell and advocating for that on the Hill. I learned a lot in terms of being able to advocate on behalf of other students and being able to bring that stuff back to my student government as well. This is something that I've also reported to them as well. But overall, it was an exceptional experience. My other report is for March 6th. I will be going down to Heartland Community College for an SAC committee meeting for Advocacy Day to prepare for that for April 16th. I'm taking what I've learned from my experience being on the Hill and advocating for issues for the college to advocate for and lobby down to Springfield on April 16th and prepare for things many of the students and all of us from different colleges want to advocate on. So, but that concludes my student trustee report.
Any questions? Great report. Thanks very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Let us know how the 6th works out for you.
Of course.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go to the ICTA report now, and then right after the ICTA report, go into trustees' comments where Trustee Nelson can do ICTA and then trustee report, okay? There you go, you queued up.
Yes, sir. ICTA, we did have an ICTA executive board meeting and regular meeting in Washington, D.C. The highlight, if you could call it that, is the Governmental Affairs Committee discussion and report. Our lobbyist was not there, but Jim Reed filled in very adequately and indicated that this does not look like the year that the baccalaureate degree is going to pass. In other words, at least not in this session. And he didn't say this directly, but I got the impression it was because of lack of funds for the budget. And that is somewhat dependent on federal funding. And for those of you that want to watch the president's speech, keep in mind that he seems to be more generous with red states than he does with blue states. In any event, the rest of what we did in the ICTA meeting, I would say, was more of housekeeping nature, and we did not have what we usually do at a regular meeting. Our next regular meeting is the 20th and 21st of March, and that is in a Chicago suburb. Any of the members of the board are we're all members, and you can go and get to know the people who are regulars from all over the state. We exchange ideas and information, and we also usually have very good programs. With regard to my trustees report, I had the pleasure of accompanying Mr. Blake as a student trustee. We were on the same long flight. And it was only long because we had about a 4-hour wait in O'Hare to get on our plane to go to Washington, D.C., and a 5-hour wait when we came back to get on the bus, the American bus, to come back to Rockford. And if I were going by myself, I probably would have just walked out and jumped on a bus to Rockford. And then, but the problem is with the American bus, you have to check we both check bags, and those bags come on the bus back to Rockford, and that's where you have to get them. So we were able to stay, have lunch together, and had a grand old time discussing issues. At the highlight of the ACCT conference for me was first, as I've said before, the general counsel to the ACCT has a 2-hour seminar of pending legal issues, which I find fascinating and important. Right now, there's the free speech in community colleges is a big issue. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals recently sent a case back to the district court for further hearing. It was anticipated that that case would go to the United States Supreme Court, and they would flesh out what they've been saying about free speech, which could affect us all. The other things that I caught from various seminars included the fact that the Congress in that agreed continuing budget resolution passed the entire funding for the Department of Education, which was $30 billion, set at, I think, 2023 or 2024 levels. So the Department of Education went from essentially very little funding to their regular funding, and out of that, there is money for the near future for all of the Pell Grants. And if you need to know more about the Pell Grants, please read the Student Trustees report. The problem is, and there were friends of ours and trustees from Galesburg who had they wanted to start an agricultural program down at Carl Sandburg Community College, but so they went to the agriculture department and said they were the only people there. There were 4 guards, no people, and no workers, and it's worse at the Department of Education. Now, we took up that issue with Congressman LaHood, and he told us that what the Congress does is they attach to the bill, they'll have a head count so that the federal government will be ordered to hire X amount of employees to process what we need. I had suggested to him, somewhat tongue-in-cheek, that they ought to pass a bill so that the congressional staffers could go down and write checks to their local district community colleges. And he came up with this idea, which I'm sure he thinks is better. The other kind of nuances that we learned were that there was a speaker who said they felt that the $30 billion wouldn't be spent by the administration, and they would blame the lack of personnel to accomplish that, and then they would forfeit the money at the end of the year. So, I mean, that is the other problem, that is that the administration is proposing that most of the work, especially granting of Pell Grants, which directly affects us, is going to be transferred, or the suggestion is it would be transferred to the Department of Labor. And the problem is, as one speaker said, the Department of Education has a $30 billion budget. The Department of Labor has a $4 billion budget, and there's no way that the Department of Labor could absorb all of the work of the Department of Education. And so, and likened it to all of the work for the governance of Massachusetts would be transferred from New Hampshire or to Rhode Island. And he said, and believe me, I'm from Rhode Island. I love Rhode Island, but it just can't be done. So we've got that particular issue laying in the weeds, and that's why these seminars are very important. The other issue was that Senator Durbin was absolutely livid on the immigration issue and spoke very stirringly about the attempted murder of the woman in Chicago who they said was shot with 5 times but had 7 bullet holes in her as she was taking clothing to her church to be recycled to poor people, and drove 1.5 miles shot before she called an ambulance, and that's probably why she survived. And the final thought is that Representative LaHood said that he, kind of in an offhanded way, said, we're going to start acting in the Congress as a co-equal branch of government. And he said that the blitzkrieg approach by the administration kind of took everyone off guard because, you know, there's usually in Washington, D.C., a gentlemanly and womanly way of working. So, as I said, very interesting, and I urge all the trustees to attend these things. Thank you.
I'm going to jump to Jenna. Did you have anything?
Yes. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Maria in the library. There's a writer in town who is not currently affiliated with the university, and he is writing a book and doing research, and he was really struggling to get a hold of these very rare materials. And he and I were chatting about this, and I told him, have you tried RVC? RVC is a community library. The Estelle Black Library is a community library. He didn't know that. He didn't know he could come to the library and get materials through the services they provide. So he came and was able to get very rare materials with the help of librarians in the Black Library. So shout out to Estelle Black Library and Maria and her team for helping us find cool, weird, rare stuff.
Cool. I'd just like to say I'd like to acknowledge the passing of Reverend Jesse Jackson, fan of education, and equality and inclusion, civil rights activist, and they lost a great civil rights activist when he passed. Not as active as he had been when I was growing up, but it was always around, and I mean, people. And when I was growing up, everybody was always talking about him. So, and on the topic of equity and inclusion, which he was a huge fan of, signed off on a letter submitting our application for an Equity and Inclusion Award for the ICTA conference in June. So hopefully we get that. So, Crystal Soltau. Any comments?
Well, I mean, are we talking about our DC trip?
If you want to, go ahead.
I will give a little synopsis. I just want to thank, first of all, RVC for the amazing opportunity. This was one of the first conferences that I was able to attend with lots of help back home. Apparently my animals were worse than behavior-wise than my kids. But, you know, that happens. But with that being said, Dr. Spearman, to student trustee Isaiah, Heather, and Jen, John Nelson, and Gloria, I had an incredible time of learning, soaking up the information, the amount of laughs that we did in conversations that we had. I was really amazed on how things worked. You don't really know. Everybody thinks that, oh, it's so easy that to go and do this and you should be able to do this, but really it showed me that there are great lengths that you have to do in order to get, you know, your voice heard. I was able to be part of the congressional forum with Jen and Heather, and I have never been so moved and touched by a bunch of people from around the U.S. that are so passionate about community colleges and the things that they go through and what they stand for. I was able to listen to a woman named Johanna Hayes and how she was like, I believe, the National Teacher of the Year, and she has wanted to, I want to say, like, not a group, but like a plan called the Launchpad, where you can go to a community college and start your, that's where it starts. It starts with us. And to keep voicing your opinions, to keep voicing for those that think that they cannot do it, they cannot come to community colleges, they can't afford it, they can't do this. That Pell Grant is so important that we keep it in the funds, that we keep it going, and yes, that we want to make sure that it's not something that's taxed. I know that's a huge thing for everybody. We really need to fight for our young ones. There was a lady also named, I want to say that her name was Alma Adams. She really made a statement, and I think I'm going to mess it up a little bit, but she said that us as the community members, I would assume my position as a board member would be the root of a tree, and we are allowing ourselves to grow branches to cover our students so they can flourish to the next step when it comes to community colleges and give them the best experience that we can. I thought it was beautiful in the things that they stand for, and it really lit a fire in me to make sure that we are always fighting for the student voices, and we are not doing it selfishly. I know a lot of times our story and how we grew up and how things that we did are not necessarily how it's going to be now. And sometimes I think that we get stuck in that mindset, and what she taught me is that we have to learn to take ourselves out of it, because what we have to do is look for the future for the students, how it is going to be for them, because how it's going to be for them is not how it was for us. And I really took that to heart, because it is so true. The days that I lived in are not the days that my girls are living in. And I really feel that when we are strong and connected, and the main goal is to increase the strength of our college, to make sure that we have as many opportunities as possible, as many outlets for these kids to grow, to learn something, to get a certification, whether it's credited or non-credited, that we are allowing that and that we are able to do that for them. As far as going into the other conferences, there was just so much information to soak in, but I truly enjoyed the fellowship that I got to have with other community colleges trustees, and I got to learn that some of them only meet twice every 6 months. Some of them only meet once a month for so many hours, and I kind of looked at Dr. Spearman and I was like, what is going on here? Like, you know, but it truly opened my eyes to the capabilities that our college is open to, and that I'm just super proud to serve on a board that really wants to make sure that we stand out in this community to all of our counties, not just the one that we reside in. On the side note, we had some amazing food. Big shout out to Jen for the Burrito Brothers, if she's in there. And Dr. Spearman for when we went out to dinner for showing us this amazing restaurant that we went to. It was wonderful. And I really enjoyed the fellowship, the connection that we had, and definitely the laugh with Dr. Spearman. Y'all, if you haven't seen it, you have to ask Jen for it. But we laughed from the time we left that hotel, probably I think still at the airport at the gate, we were still laughing at him. But it was an amazing opportunity. I appreciate it. And if I think of more things, I will let you all know. But it definitely was some eye-opening experiences, and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much for the report, Crystal. I'm glad I'm glad you enjoyed it. So
You had a good time, did you then, Crystal?
it sounds like Gloria.
Yeah, I thought I was going to wait till the COW meeting, but I will share, first of all, I do want to thank Dr. Spearman's administrative staff for coordinating everything for us for the summit. And I also want to thank Heather Kelly and Jennifer Thompson for being amazing tour guides, and they kind of kept us going in the right direction. I think I will commend Isaiah, Trustee Blake, for his student report, because that pretty much sums up an amazing week that we spent there. But also, as I was going through my notes, and after reading the board retreat minutes, I saw that a lot of what Jim Reed reported is pretty much what was covered at the national level. I will have a handout about the legislative priorities for you next week, at the next meeting, and it will give you a summary of what the priorities are. As Trustee Blake said, workforce Pell Grants were a common discussion at many of the general sessions and even some of the smaller groups. It turned out really well. I will say one thing, too. I overspent when I gave Carly the receipts. We owe the Marriott a penny. So just so you know, I worked hard, but that was it. So that's my report for now, and I'll have a handout next week. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I just wanted to give the board and the audience a heads up. Gloria was concerned about the time today, and she asked if, I have a report ready, but I was thinking maybe the cow in case we're running late, but I'm glad you got it in with everybody else's report today.
Me too.
So thanks very much. So now I'm going to go to Trustee Trojan, who then can go from his trustee report to the foundation liaison report.
Well, first of all, this is the 10th year of the NIU RVC Baccalaureate program. So I think our program is setting the stage. We've done it. We've been there. We know how to do it. And I understand there's been at least 100 graduates that have gone into the workforce, gone through the program, and gone into the workforce. So commending all of you who have participated in that program. With respect to the foundation, it's getting a lot of attention, of course. But in late April, we have the CEO Challenge. Last spring, we had 20 companies, raised $75,000, $80,000. This year, the goal is 30 companies. The goal is $100,000. The luncheon, the annual luncheon, which is held in November for donors and recipients, has grown and grown and grown to the point where we've outgrown where we had been holding it. It is now going to be held at Hard Rock, and that'll be October 30th. And of course, as is in the past, trustees are invited. The goal for the downtown of $2.5 million has been exceeded, and they've set a new goal, $4 million. And she's already talking to some of the companies about that. And lastly, the scholarship application period is now open. It opened on Valentine's Day, and it'll close on April Fool's Day, April 1st. And we've got $900,000 available for scholarships, a record again. So the foundation, again, is doing a commendable job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for Bob?
Nope.
Thanks, Bob. 2 reports in a fraction of the time of everybody else's reports. Way to go, Bob. Proud of you. I mean, making light of it. Bob knows how to cut to the chase, and I really do appreciate that. Personnel report, BR 8359 is in your packet for your review. And the Freedom of Information Act FOIA report is in your packet for your review. Any questions on either of those reports? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to go into closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in a park, recreational, or educational setting per Section 2C1, and/or 2, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees for Section 2C2, all in accordance with the Illinois Open Meetings Act.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Trustee Trojan, seconded by Nelson. Before we have a roll call, Joe, did you have anything other than what you already know that I wanted to bring up? Okay. Roll call.
Trojan,
Yep.
Nelson,
Yes.
Saltow,
Yes.
Udea,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Goldsmith, yes, Gorski.
Yes. And all we need the trustees and Attorney Perkowski. All right? We're just going to. Are we recording? Are we good? I'd like to reconvene into open session. I'd like just to note that we didn't vote on anything, didn't take any final action on anything, and closed. Date of the next committee of the whole meeting is March 10th, 2026, 5:15. Meeting will be held in the Performing Arts Room, PAR 0214, located in Educational Resource Center, ERC, on the main campus. Day of the next regular board meeting, March 24th, 2026, 5 p.m. Meeting will be held in the Performing Arts Room, PAR 0214, located in the Educational Resource Center, ERC, on the main campus. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Gloria?
Second.
And Isaiah, second. Roll call.
You got screwed.
This from your
Yes.
staff members.
Trojan is a yes.
Yes.
Nelson is a yes.
Yes.
Salto is gone. Kudia, yes. Blake?
Yes.
Goldsmith, yes. Gorski?
Oh, yeah.
We are adjourned.
8 o'clock straight up.
Better make a quick trip again. Been drinking all that water.
Joe Frazier.
Yeah, 10 rounds with Joe Frazier.
10 rounds.
Oh, my. Ali.
What?
Ali.
We wouldn't last 10 rounds.
Trying
Did
to
I need
find
to
my.
sign anything?